Welcome back, everyone. This is going to be a little bit different than normal. I'm not actually like repairing a system or picking on GameStop or anything like that in this one. Actually, going to be going over what I have been doing instead of those things for about the past month and a half. And the best part about it is everything you're going to see here is going to be free for anyone to use. So, this is a website that's going to be used for kind of managing repairs and doesn't keep track of inventory just yet. I'm going to try to get that for when this goes live. But it kind of came about when my wife and I would always do repairs on these systems or on these games. Then we'd have to go and find the receipts from places like Handheld Legend or Retro 6. Hey, so it was this much from this receipt, this much from this one, so it's this much is how much it cost us to do this repair. So this is going to be a way to actually keep track of all that stuff pretty easily so we don't have to worry about having to find those receipts again. In the parts section, we have the platforms that you can kind of append to different parts, the different types that you can put in there, and then the parts themselves. Adding a part is as simple as just hitting add part. Really, you just need the name in there. You don't need anything else. So if you're in a hurry, you can just kind of add it that way, and the part's created. And there we go. There's that part. So inventory, that is where a little bit more of the important stuff happens. You do have suppliers you can put in there, but that's not as important as the purchases section. When you add a purchase in here, you have all of your parts that you can go through. So it's like if you do a purchase of, let's say you're working on a Game Gear. So you do that. These ones, the white shells, they are $19.99 each, and we got 5 of them. And then the next part, getting some Game Gear Clean Juice Power. So that's $70, and we got 5 of them to match. Or if there's a part that doesn't exist in there, then you can put, how about let's say it's Game Gear Silicone. So we'll add that part, and that's $1.99, and we want to get 15 of those. Shipping for this order is $6. Tax is $12.99, but we are lucky and we got a $10 discount. Now I'm recording a little zoomed in on here, but on a wider screen, all this stuff will easily be visible. So it calculates everything on here for you. Has like the subtotal, then the total with the shipping, tax, discount subtracted, and then we add that. So we have our order right here. And with that one ordered, you can always go back in, you can change anything around if you want, but after you receive it, just mark that on there, save that, and we have it received. So this one just kind of tells some basic information, but the most important part that comes to this one has to do with the ticketing system. So we kind of build up our inventory to get to the ticketing system. So when you add a ticket on here, we're going to be working on a Game Gear. The serial number, blah, blah, blah. The problem wants it modded. So we add that in there, and then we are able to go in here to pricing, and we can look at the Game Gear Shell White. We'll put that in there. We'll put Game Gear Clean Juice and Game Gear Silicone. Now, one of the other orders did have this one and this one in when I was testing things out. But if you can see these prices, like even that, we put in as $1.99. It calculates the actual cost based on a percentage of the item having to do with tax and shipping. So where the base cost was $1.99, if you calculate in like tax and shipping, then that means each of these are a little bit more expensive. So it's kind of a way that you can adjust pricing if you want based on what the actual costs are. Like if there are any other fees these days, there's possibly tariffs or there's a value added tax, all sorts of fun things like that. You can charge a markup if you want to. We'll say 25% markup on each item there. So right now that is at $112.70. And labor costs, we'll say you charge $50 labor on getting all that stuff installed. So right there you have $162.70. Save that. You can go back and see the tickets. That one's in progress right there. That's the actual cost there, but the price isn't fully calculated until after it is complete. So there you go. We have the price on there, and then you can look on the dashboard. Completed tickets. These are the most used items. You can see the amount of money you made for those items. You can see how much it cost you for them. Just kind of get an idea of which items you may need to order more of until the inventory part is set up in here. The most repaired platforms that you have. And you can even manage your customers, Duder McDudeface and Tester McTesterson. Also, if you run a little shop for this, then and you're in a hurry, you can always do a quick ad on here. Choose a customer if you want, or no customer if you don't have any. Let's just say that Tester McTesterson is dropping something off. He has an Atari 2600 and how about an Atari 200? So we add that on there. You don't have to put any of those in. We can just say power not working, doesn't seem to exist. You can even split it into individual tickets on here and add that on there, and Tester McTesterson has 2 different tickets on there. So the goal of this is for just kind of hobbyists or even small repair shops to be able to kind of manage tickets, manage pricing that they have on things, just kind of get an idea of how much they need to charge for each repair a little easier. And also this way you can kind of keep track. If prices go up on items, then you can kind of know, hey, this one, it's going to cost more for this repair than it did previously. Or if you buy in bulk and get a good sale, then maybe you can charge a little bit less to someone. And once again, everything you see here plus a little bit more is going to be completely free for anyone to use, because saving letters and numbers to databases is pretty much free. There will be a few updates later on that I'll probably have to charge a little bit for. Like one of them I'm already planning is you can take pictures of the items. So by talking about charging, it might be like $5 or $10 a month. It's not going to be that much, but people will do like store pictures, generate PDF invoices, and just a few, probably branding and different things like that. So if you had this screen up in a shop, then you could have your own logo up there in the top left corner. But as far as just storing words in the database, that is always going to be free on here. But this is currently in the alpha testing phase. I'm hoping to have it in beta testing phase within a few weeks. I'm really wanting it to go completely live this summertime. So if anyone has any questions about it or any suggestions, then let me know in the comments. This has just been kind of a solo project that wanted to get done, so my wife and I and some of our friends that own retro shops can use this to help keep track of the repair systems. So additional videos will be coming up soon, and I will be working on this a little bit less just so I can get some more videos out again. I want to thank you for watching. Have a nice day.